Hello, I'm just going to tell you how I'm getting on with my English paper piece cushion, which has been a long time in the making, hasn't it? I'm afraid. So, but it's getting near the end. So as you remember, I had tacked this on. So now I have actually machined around all the hexagons to quilt it, and I have stitched in the ditch. I don't know if you can see, gosh, my eyesight's terrible, but I have actually stitched in the ditch, so you can't really see very much, but it is done, as you can see on the back where I've been. It's not 100% perfect, and I did do a lot of unpicking with this too, because it's the first time I've ever stitched in the ditch or actually quilted anything. So I did prepare it well with a lot of tacking before I attempted. I did try to do some hand quilting, but I just wasn't happy with the way it looked at all. I didn't think my stitches were even enough. Perhaps I chose the wrong thread, but it really wasn't what I wanted it to be. So I decided that I would actually stitch in the ditch, which is what I've done. Now the next thing is actually, I'm just going to go around and tack all these little pieces in so you can't see it, so you can't see them, and make sure it's all secure before machining around the outside, like so, to attach it properly to the fabric, or to my quilt sandwich as it's called. As you can see, there we go, 3 layers. But I am pleased with it, and I know my mum's going to be very, very pleased when she actually eventually gets it. I have ordered the pillow pad for it, and I'm going to do an envelope back, so it can go in and out easily, being taken out and washed. And I'm going to use the same fabric as the background fabric, obviously, which is quite pretty. And I may even, if I'm feeling daring, I'll see how much, because I don't want to buy any more fabric. If I've got enough of this fabric left, then I might do a little, a narrow band, not quite piping, I'm not sure what you call it, I'm sure you'll know, to go around the edge of the cushion, just to finish it off. If not, then I'm just going to machine it together, and that's that. And at last, this project will actually be finished, which will be wonderful, and it's really not far off, I can promise you. And I can't wait for it to be finished, because it's actually just weighing me down a little bit, just thinking about it. There's one more thing I want to show you. I'm going to have to move this lady so that I can grab this bag. Because while I was in Bath, in fact, while I was wandering around Bath while I was waiting for my mum to have an operation, I just happened to go into a local yarn shop called A Yarn Story. And it's another purple, I'm afraid, but it is gorgeous. I've wound that one into a ball, and it's beautiful. Absolutely lovely. And I actually went in, to be honest with you, there are two fabulous yarn shops in Bath. One is down one end of Bath, the bottom end of Bath, near the train station, called Wool. And the other one is this one called A Yarn Story, which is more, oh gosh, I've got, not Milsom Street. Anyway, the other end of Bath, and it's called A Yarn Story. And I went into both shops because I was actually looking for a chunky yarn so I can crochet my I want to crochet a throw, and I want to use a chunky yarn. I very rarely use chunky yarns, but I want to use a chunky for this throw, for the throw I want to make, which is going to be quite large squares, solid granny squares with a pattern on them, a bit of detail. But chunky yarn usually is not the easiest thing to find, so I'm actually going to Google. There are some companies that specialise in chunkier yarns, so I'm going to have a bit of a go on Google to find out, to see where I can find some chunky yarns. But in the meantime, I just happened to be in a yarn story looking around. I looked up and I saw this, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it. And I really didn't want to spend any money unless it was on my chunky yarn for my throw. However, I saw this and I just had to have it. And sometimes you just know that if you don't get it there and then, you'll probably never see it again. Or it might be discontinued, which happens so often. And I just wanted this so much. I really like it. So I bought it. And it is lovely. It's got a beautiful, soft, fluffy texture. I'll show you on here. So it's... and I'm going to crochet something very simple, incredibly simple, because I think if it's... I don't want anything... Maybe something, I think. But because it's such a fluffy yarn, I think you lose the look of the fluffiness if you go for something that's quite complicated with lots of different stitches. So I'm going to keep it quite simple, and it's going to be probably, I've got three, so it's a lot, quite a large. And as you know though, crochet uses more yarn than knitting, so I always buy that extra skein when I plan to make something in crochet. But it is going to be a wrap because it's something I would want to wear. So yes, it's going to be a lovely wrap, so it can be used as a nice wide scarf or as a wrap in the evening. So I'm actually really looking forward to that too. But that obviously has got to go, I'll show you, look, let me just show you the contents. So, oh, I haven't got my glasses on. 55% baby alpaca, 18% fine merino wool, 17% mulberry silk, and 10% yak. And at the bottom it says 100% dreamy, and it really is that, definitely. So that's lovely. But yes, that's got to go in the list, because as you know, I've got to do my other purple cowl I'm making with this yarn. I know it's another purple. I didn't really intend that, but that's the way it happened. They'll both be very different, whereas this is going to be a cowl, this is going to be a wrap. And they are different shades of purple, so that's all right. So yes, that's going to happen after this. And of course, I'm also doing my, excuse me, my temperature blanket on YouTube. So I've got a lot going on in the crochet world as well as in the quilting world. So yes, I am very busy, and there will be lots to show you. So that's my what I'm showing. Sorry, that's what I've been showing you today. And I will be back when this is finished. And this has been started. So I'll see you soon. Take care.